All right. Hey, that was a quick little intro. But hey, guys, man, I've been waiting for this day for a while. It finally come. This is the Texas Four Corners Paranormal Podcast. My name is Terry. I'm the founder and owner of NSPS TV. Sorry about that. NSPS TV Paranormal. Also, NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Hey, guys, hey, I really appreciate you guys coming out of your busy day to come join me on this special podcast, and for you guys to represent the region that you guys are in. But with enough said about me, let's go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with Paranormal Journal. Tell the world a little bit about you, my brother.
My name's Joseph. I run the team of the Paranormal Journal here in San Antonio, Texas. As far as my team goes, we've been doing this since a little bit before COVID had started, so a little early 2020. And so we started the team basically set up of my family. So I had been investigating since I was a young adult, and I fell off of it for a while. Had my family, kids, and everything came around, and I kind of jumped back into it after starting to see some stuff that was going on within my own home, and finally convinced my wife to let me jump back into it. And once I did that, I had one of my older brothers, decided he was doing something as far as his own. He was investigating as well. He's been fascinated with paranormal his whole life as well too. So we kind of talked about it. We decided to start our own team, and we've basically been doing that since, like I said, around 2020. And been having fun with it ever since as a family, doing it together. Unfortunately, my brothers were busy tonight, so they weren't able to join me. But his team, he has his own page and everything called Hasta la Muerte Chronicles, which he follows not just paranormal incidents, but true crime and things like that. So we partner up with him. He's basically my case manager. And then I have my other older brother and my wife that joined me, and my closest best friend that is my camera guy and comes along for all the fun trips that we take. So we've just been doing that. A little bit after, I'd say about a little bit around 2021, we signed on with a group called Paraflix, which streams and it's a subscription service for paranormal shows and things like that. It's a very new kind of a subscription service, which is it was a great thing that we got on with them. We get to platform ourselves on there and just kind of show off our investigations and things like that on that channel. So it's a really cool, fun thing that we've been doing for the past few years. So yep, in a nutshell.
Hey, appreciate you coming on the show, man. I really do, coming out of your busy day. SPI, talk to me. What's going on with you guys? Hello?
I've been doing this almost 30 years. We started the team officially 2015, I think, around there. We have a 7-member team. Only here tonight. Sorry, we had a very big night, so we're all kind of on the paranormal hangover, if you will. So if we look a little tired, we are. We are we deal primarily with malevolent and demonic type hauntings. And we are a full-fledged clearing team. I'm an ordained minister. One of my other guys is an ordained minister. So we do all of the spiritual service as well, including and up to exorcism needed.
Wow. I might have to call upon you guys here shortly, man. I got a situation going on down here in the Round Rock. I know, in the Leander area. So I might be calling upon you guys to help me out with a case here soon. All right. Text part, what's going on? Introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm JJ and Jet. We founded TextPart when we moved to Texas. We are actually from Iowa originally. I've been doing this since Scooby-Doo. I mean, it's been a long time, over 40 years. So, and it's when we used to have to hide in the closet because, you didn't want to talk about that crazy ghost hunting stuff. People think you were crazy.
Right.
So it wasn't until early 2000s that people really kind of took off with it. But we started TextPart once we left Iowa. We'd been ghost hunting since the 90s before that. Mm-hmm. But we started because we lived in a house that was like off the chain. It was enough that we ended up selling it. And when that happened, if I'd known then what I know now, sort of thing, in retrospect, I felt like if I had known what I know now, I might not have. I know so much more from a familial haunting from a personal point of view that I think I decided I wanted to help others keep their house. I wanted to help others understand that they can contribute to a haunting. And so we started TextPart, and we've been everywhere. I mean, we aren't limited to Texas, but we have helped a lot of people anywhere from McKinney to, actually up to the Oklahoma border. The thing that we enjoy doing is we're kind of get called in to do historical haunts. When you have a historical figure that someone thinks is haunting a building, we are brought in to kind of resolve the mystery. Is there somebody really connected to that history? So, and Jet, he's been investigating since he was 8. And I guess I can let him tell you the reasons why. We don't usually promote 8-year-olds as investigators, but sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah, so I'm Jet. I have been investigating since I was 8 years old, and that was because of the house that she mentioned. There were very malevolent entities in that house that would talk to me directly and to our family parrot. Believe it or not, I had a parrot that stayed in my room, and he picked up this habit where he would just kind of start whispering for no apparent reason. And it was creepy. So that was what went on in my average day at that house. And it kind of just opened me up on all levels, physical, mental, spiritual, to the paranormal. And so I've been investigating, trying to understand it ever since. And I've been trying this whole time as I've grown up in this field to encourage others that were around my age to not do the improper things. Like if you're going to a cemetery, don't be crushing headstones just because you're not getting anything out of it.
Right.
So that's
right. All right, guys. If you guys be patient with me, I got to do an invite right quick to Borderland. They are having problems getting in, so I'm going to just do a quick invite right quick. So you guys be patient with me.
I do want to mention we have several members that aren't on here right now. We have about 5 other team members that weren't able to make it tonight. So it's not just the 2 of us.
Let's see here. All right, hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get these guys in here.
We just want to say hi to Star, our super fan. We see her there. We love you, Star.
All right, they should pop right in. All right,
Hi,
guys.
Angela.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing tonight? Mike, what's going on, brother? We're doing all right. Hey, guys, the reason why I decided that I want to do this, because the first 2 times I think was a great success. SPI was one of my very first teams that I reached out, to represent their area, which is, the Houston, the East Texas area. And I think that was a good success. The first time. The second time I did it was also a great success. But, I was kind of hesitant to do it this time around, but somebody slapped me while I was asleep and said, hey, you need to do this, Terry. You need to, whatever you're doing, that promotes para-unity, you really need to keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Because there is so much negativity out here. I just think I'm that bright beacon light that everybody can come to, that, if there's ever a problem or if they ever need a question. So what do you guys think about, the stuff that I'm trying to do? Because you guys see me posting all the time on social media. So, hey, I'm just curious, what do you guys think about somebody like me that's really trying to push, para unity, and just come together as one big family?
I think it's.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's a great idea because, again, people see things on TV a lot. And when they come to different teams, I think that if the teams aren't in a similar mind or can't trust one another, it causes problems. So I think that what you're doing is definitely a very good thing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, hey, guys, don't be afraid to, speak your mind. I mean, this is what it's about. I want you guys to speak your mind, and just be honest with me. If I need to improve something, please tell me, because I'm always willing to improve everything that I do. What do you think about this, SPI? Talk to me.
I think you're doing great. It's the thing that you're trying to do, and I think there is a lot of division. It's getting better. I think there's a lot of teams now that are starting to work towards the whole para unity thing and try to help other teams and do referrals to other teams. When I started this several years ago, our area at least was very cutthroat, and it was far from helping anybody. It was, oh, you've heard of that team? Well, they're horrible. They do this and they do that, and it was just it was really, really bad. So we distanced ourselves from everybody else. You do you, we do us, and it was within the last 2 or 3 years. I'd say a big difference. People are finally starting to reach that point of, why are we doing this? We need to be working together, and I think that's a great thing. I think that helps all of us, and it helps all of our clients.
Exactly. Okay, cool. All right. What do you think, Paranormal Journal?
No, I think it's great. Since we got back into this, like I said, with me, it was always just me on my own in my earlier years. And then now that I brought my family into it and actually have a team that I run with, everybody in San Antonio has been really, really inviting and really open with us and really nice. So it's been pretty cool. Like the teams that we have interacted with here have always been welcoming and inviting us to investigations. When we had like the Paranormal Fest here at the Black Swan Inn, a lot of the local teams were really cool, and we got to meet some of them. And I haven't heard any bad things about anybody shining down on us because we're a new team coming into the field and things like that. So so far we've had nothing but good things happen to us. So it's been pretty nice. But I love when we have the opportunity to meet other teams and speak with them and just connect and network. And like you said, if there's a team that's up in another city, you can always refer them and just help each other out in that aspect. So it's awesome.
Well, hey, you know what? I appreciate all the love and support, guys. I really do. But let's get down to business. Hey, SPI, what is going on over there in Houston, man? Talk to me. How busy have you guys been?
Oh gosh. Well, we're still super busy with regular stuff and all of our regular clients, still taking new clients, but we are booked usually 2 to 3 months out, pretty standard. And now, of course, in addition, we have the show, which we're currently filming for a show called Ghost Hunting Beauties. We have several models that are interested in learning how to investigate the paranormal and do it properly. So Lynette and I are regulars, of course, on the show. And some of my other team members have recently been featured on the show as well. And we're basically teaching them the correct and respectful way to do this part.
Wow. I've seen you guys, was it last night you guys was in Nacogdoches? I think you guys
we were in Huntsville.
Huntsville. I'm sorry. Yeah, Demon Road. Demon Road. Wow. How was that?
It was pretty good. We had some technical issues. We had the crazy people coming out, oh, can I be on TV? No, go away, please. So, we had a lot of that kind of little scary here and there, but more scary on the living side than on the deceased side.
Yeah, definitely that.
Okay. Now, tell me, what do you think about that particular area that, people, talk Demons Road? Tell me what you think about it.
You've been there more than me.
I mean, all right, I'm not native to Texas, so when I first moved here about 18 years ago, Demon Road was one of the first haunted locations that I visited. Anytime I've been there since, just far and few between. I think I've only been there about 5 times total. It's different every time. The first time we found like a fresh noose, the brand hanging in a tree outside the cemetery, which was weird, and we heard all kinds of just weird things and stuff happen without going into it. And then other times it's very. Last night was pretty peaceful. One time we went with a couple of our team members and we were doing something unofficial, and we talked to a little girl in the cemetery for like an hour and a half. So it's every time it's different.
Did you guys get a chance to,
except for the humans?
Now, hey, did you guys get a chance to investigate the cemetery behind the cemetery?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, actually, Lynette was one of last night's cast members.
Okay. Now, hey, what do you think about that particular part of the cemetery?
I like the older part. I like historical. So, and then last night, the back part that we were in, I think everybody felt like there were a lot of spirits, a lot of people like around, but nobody really approached them, or a couple of spirits approached the equipment that we were using. Not a lot. Like I said, it was a pretty quiet night. We did have an activity though.
Okay, cool. All right. Hey, text part.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about McKinney, Texas.
Well, we're very active in McKinney. For some reason, when we moved here, we just, it's just where we gravitate to. We don't really live there, but we got called in 2008 to join the ghost hunting, or ghost walk, I guess they call it the ghost walk. And it's just a historical, it's a historical celebration of McKinney. But what they were doing is allowing people to go from building to building that was haunted and tell stories. The problem is they were just legends, which can have a grain of truth to them, and sometimes they're a little overstretched. And so we came in and we started investigating between 2008 and 2017. We hit most of the buildings that were reputed to have had some sort of haunting, and we kind of resolved mysteries. We resolved certain legends as to like why a lady in white would be haunting the courthouse, and now we use that now to do a walking tour. We do that during October most of the time. We use that to educate people. Our goal has always been to keep people in the know. It's not just about catching ghosties. It's not all about the thrill-seeking part of it. There's a lot to this that people don't understand. I know as ghost hunters yourselves, it is not a cakewalk. It's not something you just go and do that takes a few minutes. It's like on TV, yay, and 15 minutes later, we've got all this evidence. Sometimes you go and you sit and you talk to yourself, and that's it, And so it's been a real joy being able to educate people. I do a lot of lectures and stuff for different groups and different cons where I talk to people about the experience that we had in our own house and why it's so important to understand how human nature affects your environment and how you can actually cause hauntings. And how to not get yourself in more trouble by, because we do use priests as well when we have haunted situations. But it's just been, McKinney has just been a real joy to actually kind of catapult Text Part into an area I never thought that I would be in. So It's always active. We always have good luck doing the things that we're trying to accomplish. Like I said, education's the main part of it. I've had people that do our ghost tours that say, I've lived here 40 years and I did not know that, but wow, that makes sense. And I guess that means a lot to us. We've actually affected people's perspective of ghost hunting. We're not just a bunch of silly people with tools and Ouija boards. We've affected people to help them understand if you've got something in your house, well, how do you eliminate the possibilities before you assume it's a haunting? So yeah, you want to add to that, Jet?
Not. I mean, you covered the subject pretty well for everything that we try to do. Like I said, my goal has always been to try to keep people around my age when I was growing up teach them the proper way to do it rather than start it for the thrills and then get bored and push it aside or cause problems for the client because you're just there to thrill seek. So I think you covered the subject pretty well.
Now, what do you guys say to people? There are people out there that, like you're saying, thrill seekers. What do you say to people like that can possibly get themselves into a situation? Just going out and say, "Hey, man, I'm thrill seeking. Let's do this, let's do that." What would you do, Joseph? In that situation? Uh-oh.
I was on mute. Sorry. I'm gonna be completely honest. When as a young kid, I know Jet started off when he was 8. I started a little bit around the age of I want to say 13, between 13 and 15. It was the fun part. I surrounded myself around my family, and my family had a lot of history when it came to the storytelling and everything. Growing up in the Hispanic family, it's tons of urban legends and things that your uncles and aunts and grandparents have seen. My grandfather used to tell stories about seeing the devil at one point and things like that. So, getting into it for me as a young person, that's when I went into it. And as I grew older and started really learning about the field itself, I tried explaining it to people, it's not all, fun and it really isn't, sometimes, it's just a long night of just sitting there with absolutely nothing happening and nothing going on. But yeah, for the people that go into it like that, it's one of those where if you're looking to do something like that, and you're not going to take it serious. There's tons of tours, especially in San Antonio. Oh my God, there's probably like 10 ghost hunting tours within the downtown area itself. Go check those out. Go have fun with that. That you have people that know the history and you can get a lot of the storytelling through. Because I think that's basically what people want to see. They want to get the chance of experiencing something and seeing something, and those tours are a good opportunity to just get the storytelling, and I think a lot of that feeds that want of the the adrenaline of knowing you're going into a building and you're getting to hear the history of it and that have occurred and the stories that have occurred within that building. So I think a lot of people get the fill from that. But when they really want to go in and do it, right off the back, I tell them, because I have a lot of friends that come in and tell me like, hey, can I join you? Can we come in your next investigation? Things like that. It's like, well, we keep our circle small. It's a team thing. And, I don't like bringing people along that aren't going to really take it serious sometimes. I just try to let them know the basic facts of how we do things and how we conduct our investigations. Very quiet, very serious note taking. It's like taking a class. You document every single thing that you hear, everything that you might have seen, little things like that. So I let them know it's a long, drawn out process, and a lot of the times, with one location, you have to go back several times. So like they see the show, obviously, and that's what excites them. So don't get me wrong, as a content creator for the show and everything, yes, we put a lot of things in there, but it's if we really wanted to do a real investigation, like when we did the Lexington, we did Corpus Christi. A lot of things happened on the ship in the Lexington and Corpus Christi, but did we truly get to investigate it? No. We didn't really get to, we heard knocking at one point in a hallway, couldn't explain it, but had we really taken the time to go find out if that knocking came from something, we would have. But you're limited on time when you do locations like that you have to go and pay for. So I let them know, like when we go house, definitely never take anybody. I never let them go onto like a house investigation with a client. Residential investigations are conducted completely different from what we do when we do the fun locations, like if we're going to do like Yorktown or, a hospital, an abandoned hospital, things like that. We conduct those extremely differently and treat them way more fragile and, way more of a different sense of investigation, just because you're dealing with real people's lives. You're dealing with people's emotions. They're obviously called you because they feel that something's either not right or they just want to know because of all the things that happen within their homes. So it's a very serious matter when we go into those. So I break it down to them. I'm completely honest and upfront with them and let them know, like, it's not everything that you see on TV. Even with our show, like, yeah, we have the fun when we do our show and everything, but for the most part, a lot of our cases revolve around residential cases, which I do not let anybody go along with unless it's part of the TV.
Okay. Hey, I'm glad that you brought up residential cases. I have a question for you guys. And this goes for all three of you. I kind of know the answer to SPI because that's what they specialize in. But do you guys think that residential investigations is a little bit more hard to do compared to your average everyday hunting, like compared to a cemetery or to a urban site that somebody passed away in and somebody's haunting it? What do you guys think? Is there a big difference, or is it two of the same?
No, I think, like I just said, it's a huge difference because when you go to like a certain place, like a cemetery and stuff, you're limited on time is one thing. Residential cases, you're at least able to kind of come up with a plan. You're more connected with the family. You're communicating every day and seeing if anything new has happened. I think it's just a big difference. It's a huge difference.
Okay, SPI, what do you think?
I don't know that I would say that it's harder. It's more complicated because what are the clients wanting to get out of it? Are they just wanting the education, and are they okay with the spirits being there? Are they being physically injured, and is there an additional safety factor to consider? Are they scared stiff, and regardless of what it is, they want it removed from the house? I think there's different levels with that, and you have to be able to manage the client expectations as well as the investigation practice. So I would just say it's more complicated rather than saying it's harder, and that requires a more professional touch. We have and young people trying to get involved in the field that call us, say, well, where do I start? I want to go do this and I want to go do that. And I always tell them, start with the public places. Start with the cemeteries and the places like this that you can easily get into and work your way up. The ones that say, I want to do residential and I want to do the kind of, do it for several years, learn the ropes, learn what you're doing, be prepared before one's house and tell them that you can help them manage their problem, because that is a very demand and it's a very big expectation that you need to be able to deliver if you're going to walk in.
Right. Now, how many of you guys on this podcast are willing to take somebody and actually train them?
Yeah, but
Wait a minute, I think Borderline just popped in.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, you can take that cowboy hat off your head, though.
Oh, that's not gonna happen, boss man.
All right, hey guys, the panel is now complete. We have actually got all four representatives. Borderline, tell the world, a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, like you said, we're Borderland Paranormal Investigators. We're from El Paso, Texas. I started off this investigating about 3 years ago. I've always been fascinated with the paranormal since I was a kid. I never really experienced anything as a child growing up, but until we moved into some apartments that we had no idea that they were haunted at all. and maybe a couple months into living there, that's when we started experiencing paranormal activity, mainly poltergeist activity, I should say.
Okay, cool. We were just in the process of talking. Well, I was talking. How many of you guys can take a junior team on? Instead of giving them information, let's go ahead and teach them rather just, throw them to the wolf and say, well, you guys can do this on your own. So how many of you guys are willing to actually take a junior partner and actually train them so they can be successful?
He's going to jump on.
SPI, what about you?
We do that kind of. With us, because we do rescue investigations and because we are a specialty team, the demands are a lot harder. I people that have not been experienced and train them. Have an age group. Everyone on our team except for my son is my son following mom's footsteps. Everybody else is 35 and up. So we do have an age requirement. So most of the young people that are coming in, that are in that kind of thing, they probably don't want to spend their nights, Friday and Saturday nights, hanging out with a bunch of people in their 40s and 50s. So, we don't typically take really young people coming to the guild.
I wouldn't mind.
That being said, we will train of our age.
Okay.
Or maybe people 18 and over. I would agree to that.
You know what? I would agree to it too. And they're going to want to be able to actually listen. Don't do a lot of talking. Let's do a lot of listening.
Yeah, listening and observing.
And observing.
Yes.
If you can do that, I think you'd be a good, this would be a good little thing for you. But I mean, if you're doing a lot of talking, then instead of listening, it's going to be a problem. Now, I don't mind you talking as long as you're asking questions. That it's all about that. Being attentive. If you got a question, feel free to ask. And all that stuff. I don't mind at all. You know what I'm saying? But SPI. Tell me what is going on in East Texas. Why is it so hard to find a paranormal investigator out there?
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for Ghost Hunting Beauties and her trying to share just a little light on what's going on out there, I think I don't know. It's so weird. The area is so nice, but yet there are so many paranormal investigators out there. I don't know why.
We have a lot, actually. There's a ton of paranormal teams in this area. The thing is, I think our area is so, just Houston, it takes 2 sides. So you have whatever part of the city, the only part of the city they do, because otherwise it gets too rather traveling so far. We're one of the few who doesn't do that. Obviously, we go all over the city, so we have and why we do that kind of but yeah, there are a ton of teams here.
Okay.
Area.
Yeah, hey, I'm just gonna,
as we are.
I'm just gonna have to, make a road trip out there and go knock on everybody's door and just, hey, you're a paranormal investigator. Hey, because I've reached out to so many. Either they're like, no, we don't do this no more, or you got the wrong number, or something weird, And I'm like, okay, well, but you know what? I'm glad to have met, you guys. There's, like you said, there's a couple more, but there should be a little bit, there should be at least 10 to 15 every little town that's out there, because there's so much history in East Texas, and it flows into Louisiana. So yeah, man, there is so much that should be. I mean, every little corner should be investigated in East Texas. That's just me. But
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. I think the whole state of Texas has a lot of history, man, and I think we should all just come together and try to see if we can investigate as much as possible.
It would be cool. It would also be a good idea to try to get everybody from each corner together on an investigation. That would be neat. That would be really cool.
It would. Yeah, I agree.
That would be awesome.
Share the knowledge and experience.
Because everybody has knowledge of something that I don't know, and everybody has ideas that can be put together on how to communicate or just basically investigate a certain area from different aspects. And people will definitely I would definitely agree that people would definitely watch people from four different corners of a state come together to investigate just one location. That would be really cool.
Hey, SPI, you know what I'm thinking, right? Hey, that's definitely a TV show. We can definitely. That's definitely a TV show.
That would be awesome.
That would be totally awesome, man. That would be a TV. I'm telling you. Tell me what other place, what other state has done, that can do what we do.
Yeah, not that I know of. I haven't seen anything like that.
No, most of them don't get along well enough.
You gotta tell
a lot of ego.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, that's why we're from Texas, so we
that's
all
what makes us special.
We all love each other.
See, and I think Terry, I think that's why sometimes you can't find a group, because so many of them quit because they get bored. They're out there expecting to have a ghost every time they get explore. That they stay in it for a few months or maybe a year or two, and then they quit. And you just, if you're serious about what you're doing, you're not going to do that.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are totally right. You know what, guys? I have not had an investigation since October, but that's not going to stop me. I'm not going to give up on it just because it's something that I'm bored. But whatever I'm doing, I'm constantly involving myself with something paranormal. If it's not the podcast, I'm talking to people. It's just 24 hours, 7 days a week. Hell, I sleep paranormal. So, I mean,
that's kind of creepy, Terry.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's kind of creepy. But anyway, hey, Joseph, dude, if you can tell me a little bit about, because everybody always talks about it when I go down there. Let's go to Donkey Lady Bridge. Is it as creepy as people say it is?
No, not especially not now. Back in the day, we used to actually just go there and party. It's not even the legend is so mixed up and so the legend is so it's been so like just mixed up over the years, over time. But there as far as it being haunted, there are some paranormal investigators here in town. I know they have some meetups and stuff, and they say that they do have results and get some type of evidence from time to time there. I've never experienced anything there on my end. It used to be really creepy. It was like an old bridge, and it's like a one-way lane. You go one way and come out one way, and it's in a wooded area. But ever since then, they've actually industrial plants built around there and stuff. So there's tons of light. They've revamped it. It looks like it's like part of a park now with trails. And as far as the feel of it and everything, it's not creepy anymore whatsoever. But people still go there and meet up and have a small little meetup investigations and stuff. So the times that I've gone, it's been really quiet, and I've never had anything and any results happening there. I mean, the myth is there's a half woman, half donkey woman that will pull you into the river that the bridge goes over, which is, it's not really a river, it's a creek. It's not even a full-fledged river, but it was a fun place to go back in the day, just like our ghost tracks. Everybody talks about the ghost tracks, which have been debunked I don't know how many times, even way back in the day. The story of the ghost tracks here also relates to a story that happened not here but in another state. So the track did happen, the accident did happen, but not here. And the streets, and what's cool about that is that the street names around the tracks are all named after little kids. But actually, one of the mall owners, one of the malls here in San Antonio, that property, he owned that property at one point, and the street names were actually all of his grandchildren, nieces, and nephews. Yeah, it's an old myth, but I've never experienced anything. I'm not taking away saying that there's not, because like I said, there are some teams that have said that they've experienced things there, but I have not. But yeah, it's a fun place. It's a beautiful park. I mean, I say go and visit it. It's a nice little hiking trail to go to during the day if you ever want to visit San Antonio. So,
okay, cool. SPI. I'm about to do a podcast, and I want all of you guys' opinion on this. I am about to do a podcast maybe in late May, and I'm going to call it the Universal Podcast. And the reason why is I am going to put a panel together that's never been done before. If it has, I've never seen it. I'm going to put together a demonologist, a paranormal investigator, a psychic, and a paranormal investigator, and a witch.
Oh, damn.
All 5 of these guys might be different, but yet we all have something in common, and that's the paranormal. You know what I'm saying?
We've done that, actually, but a word of caution. Your ego between your psychic, we had a lot of problem with ego. It was a great experiment because everyone has something to offer, but the egos between the different people was what really was the challenge. It was the challenge. So that's just a word of caution. Just be careful to interview the people you put on there very carefully.
Exactly. Now, I'm like you're saying, it should be an interesting conversation or interesting podcast. I would think so. For the simple fact, what you just said.
Oh, it gets quite lit.
Oh yeah, and that's what I like. I mean, why come we can't come on? I mean, there's no reason why we can't come on here and talk. And if you have, a disagreement, let's talk about it.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's always the hard part. Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy that that you would try it. And to me, what would you say your success rate was on that?
It was amazing, actually. By combining those, we would have the psychics go through first. We would have the paranormal investigators then go back in and do their part. And then based on the evidence that we found from these different people, different feelings, different whatever, then we would also combine it with what we found out from, like, say, the homeowners or the shop owners. And it would actually create a very good basis for finding evidence, for helping people verify what they were feeling or what they were doing. But like I said, the problem wasn't necessarily in the investigation part. It was in the aftermath. It was on the outside in trying to keep the group cohesive. Because everybody thought that, well, yeah, but okay, I saw them cheating with the dowsing rods, that kind of thing.
Oh, gosh.
People would pick at each other because of, I don't know. It was just weird. What do you think, Jet? That's what I mean.
Yeah, and the thing that we ran into most often in the aftermath is that if your evidence that we could provide concretely to the client didn't match up with what the psychic was feeling, or with what the shaman that we once brought in said was happening, then we were just absolutely wrong. There couldn't have been any room for error on either side of the argument. When most people don't realize is that a psychic may come in and talk to a spirit. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that that spirit is the one who wants to give us that evidence, wants to communicate through EVP. Sometimes, in my experience, when it comes to bringing psychics on an investigation, we've actually had, more often than not, the spirit just wants to talk to the psychic. They don't care about our equipment. And that's because I guess it's a lot easier for them to communicate across that spectrum. It costs them a lot less energy in the long run, something to that effect. But that's what always happened, is it was, if the evidence didn't line up, then we would hurt someone's feelings, so to speak. And then they would, they would start saying things behind your back, to kind of discredit your own evidence, even though that's kind of what we're there at the end of the day, is to help the client and present them with something concrete so that they can understand themselves.
Okay. Well, hey guys,
I've seen a few.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. I've seen a few people do it. The ones that I've seen do the best, the Warren Foundation does that. And they regularly put together it's for podcast bases. And it does go well. But in saying that, they're all part of the foundation. So there's a common goal there. Even if you're not necessarily on the team, you're part of that same unit, the goal for the greater good of the unit. And I think that's why that works so well. So I think, like JJ said, when you're trying to, get people from different teams in different areas, you're going to have a lot more of that ego. Well, my team knows more than your team. And, we have more experience here than you. So I would say it's probably going to be difficult if they're not aligned in some way.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Use your interview skills to be very careful about who you select. Causes a lot less trouble. We learned that over the years the hard way because, we had stellar people. We just stellar psychics and awesome, demonologists. And we had resources like crazy, but man, the egos.
Man.
Wow,
yeah. Crazy.
Well, that sucks.
Hey guys, let's talk about equipment, because at this point, as I can agree that each one of us on this panel can basically, I can only say we all have the same equipment.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Everybody got a camera, EMF meters, and all that stuff. Okay, the question is,
definitely.
There you go. Why come there isn't somebody out there inventing something different? Because when you go in, let's think for a minute. If you go into an area where it's been heavily, been a lot of boots on the ground, a lot of paranormal investigators there, these spirits are pretty much, JJ, I think me and you talked about this. These spirits are saying pretty much the same thing. Yeah. They're saying the same thing. So if you keep saying the same thing, they're not going to react.
No, they're bored.
So why come there's nobody out there that's inventing something different?
There are. But the Discovery Channel people, they have deep pockets.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If I was a spirit or a ghost, and y'all came to me with that, hey, can you make this ghost ball light up, or can you make this light up? I'm not gonna respond to y'all because I'm seeing it over and over and over again. And, and it's time to invent some new things. You know what I'm saying? It's time. Actually, like I say, it's time to be creative when we're being a paranormal investigator. And I'm not saying that the always is, some people like the always. But as time goes on, and these new Gen Z paranormal investigators are coming out, these guys are going to want, something new, something inventive. They might not want to go our way, so
Mm-hmm.
we got to try to find some ways of beating these guys to the punch or creating something new. Because I'm telling y'all now, each one of y'all on the panel, if I happen to go and y'all want to come investigate me and y'all come with me with a cat ball, I'm not going to stick to y'all.
They won't be able to see.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do too with the validity of what it brings to the table and like what your evidence is going to show and hold up. Like the EDI Plus, like that's probably my favorite tool, just because it does a lot of, it does almost everything. It has the geophone on it, has all that good stuff, the EMF meter, and then it also saves your data. So like, you're able to actually go back and relook at it and look at it. I think scientifically, if you ever want it to be a fact-based driven science, like paranormal investigating, there has to be real scientific evidence behind it. And I think sometimes we find things that, yes, are useful and they're helpful, but I think at the same time we want to look at it. And I'm hoping somebody invents more devices like the EDI, I guess is what I'm saying, where they can actually put data, real evidence, and real scientific backing behind the things that we're experiencing and the evidence that you're experiencing inside of a location. So, I think that's what it is. I think, I'm not gonna lie. I like the cat ball. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like, turn on and move. Like that's. It's pretty cool. And once again, I would never use that in a residential investigation, but I would use it in a fun, local, just did a warehouse recently where we had to go off and we did the DVR in the warehouse, everything. And and it's very rare it comes off, but then you got to ask, are the batteries like low on how that wide?
Quick question, but where did you get that device, and how much did it go for?
Oh, dude, if you want to get a decent one, like you'll pay like $13 for like a real decent light bulb. If not, then dude, Amazon, you can buy them like freaking 15 for like 10.
Okay, okay, the cat balls I do have, but I'm talking about the other device that you mentioned.
The EDI Plus was on it's on the website. Well, go to the actual manufacturer. Oh my God, my mind's going blank right now as far as where the actual manufacturer sells it for like way less than on. If you find it like on Ghost Stop or if you find it on any of the other websites, they're going to charge you $75 to $100 for it.
Okay, that's not bad. What was it called again?
EDI Plus.
EDI Plus. All right, definitely gonna look into that.
Yeah.
Now we can all say one thing we can all agree on is almost 85% of what these people are, just putting together. Half that stuff don't work. You know what I'm saying? It's whoever the manufacturer is. We can say half the stuff don't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
To be honest, Terry, there's times that
where you're gonna find it. Centex Paranormal, CENTEX Paranormal. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Sometimes I feel like just going in there old school, just going in with a camera, no devices, and try to see if you could just capture something on camera and maybe just have your own personal experiences.
Yeah.
But I still haven't done that yet, but maybe one day we will.
Yeah. Hey, SPI, you guys are into, a lot more stuff than I would ever try to get my foot into. Tell me some of the stuff that you guys work with.
Who, us, Terry?
No, SPI.
SPI.
Oh, SPI, okay.
We use all the simple stuff. We use all the simple stuff. We do the cat balls and the EMF meters and the REM pods and all the basic stuff. On the higher end, I really like the thermal camera that we have. That's unfortunately it tend to cooperate that well on camera, so it can be really hard to get that footage. But I like it because you have that clear evidence mark of the temperature, and it saves the data as well. So that's one of my favorites. It's just, the luck of catching something or not and actually getting to save it in the camera. So unfortunately, that doesn't happen as much as we'd like.
It's like the SLS camera. Like I know it has a lot of downplay on it as far as the community goes, but when we investigated Goliad, the Presidio La Bahia in Goliad, Texas.
Goliad.
Yeah, so when we stayed there, that's the one place I knew I wanted to use it, just because you're out in the open. It's an open field inside of the mission, and it's just field. There's nothing there that the SLS is going to actually capture or just take it for like a body or give it that shape. Because like if you go to a cemetery and you use it, most of the tombstones and the gravestones are going to actually show up, and it's going to look like a figure. But out there, I knew there was absolutely nothing but open field. So when I was walking the field, I wanted to see if it actually captured something like that. And it's not a very I guess proven tool, but at the same time, if I did pick something up and there's nothing in front of me, I thought that'd be pretty cool to capture and see if we could get anything with that. So it just depends, I believe, on where and how you use them sometimes too, to see how they are.
That's one place I would love to investigate, Goliad and the Alamo. Both of those have that history.
Even if you don't capture anything, it's amazing over there. It's so fun. Yeah. And
how far is the Goliad from you?
Yeah, it's not that pricey. So yeah, check it out if you get the opportunity. It's the history, and then just the fact that it's a beautiful location.
Nice. So that's definitely what we want to do. We want to get out of El Paso, but man, it's pretty pricey. It's expensive.
Oh, I can bet. Hell.
Yeah, and especially the drive from El Paso out to Central Texas or anywhere else in Texas, it's a long drive.
Hell, it's got to be a one-way trip, man. When you make that trip, you got to move the whole family. You just might as well just stay there.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to stay in the car with him too long.
Yeah, the Alamo, man. Good luck with that. I mean, you can actually walk on the outside of the Alamo and all that. I mean, and to be honest, the way the Alamo's figured and the way it is now, the actual battle happened right where all the tourist location is. So, like a lot of the buildings, like across the street, Battle Brian's, all that, they get a lot of activity there because that's where the actual battle happened. It didn't even happen in the grounds where the Alamo is now. So, if you really want to experience the Alamo, you could. But the whole thing is it's very busy, nightlife. It's all crazy out there. The chances of you getting actual evidence, it's kind of hard. But
yeah, it's pretty tough to get evidence there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Hey guys, tell me some of the places you guys will go get equipment at. Me, I love Pablo. I think that's Pablo. Just
we started on Amazon.
We like GoStop.com. That's where they're not the equipment.
Yeah, I love GoStop.
GoStop?
Yeah, I use GoStop also.
And then I also like Facebook. There's a bunch of the only thing sketchy about Facebook is when you go to the buy, sell, trade pages on Facebook. Just sometimes there's a ton of scammers out there, so that's something you got to be careful with. But I've gotten really good secondhand IR lights and things like that, even modified ones that people sell.
Oh, nice.
So I follow a lot of the buy, sell, trade paranormal tools on Facebook, and I've had some good luck with those too. But like I said, just gotta be real careful.
Yeah, dude, I gotta hit up every time I go to Five Below, man. I gotta hit that place up hard because there are a lot of stuff out there you can use for investigating. So there's one up the street. I mean, every time I see a truck coming in, I go hit them up, see what they got. You know what I'm saying? But this ball here, I kind of replaced this ball with those little bitty cat balls. I think this ball here, it's a lot bigger than those damn cat balls. And I think they're a lot more successful too. And plus, it sings.
It sings?
Yeah, it's a singing ball. So you guys might want to try this one out. Also, if people knows, I mean, I don't get paid for it, but I do promote just selling all your cameras. Get rid of all your cameras. Just sell them all. Just get rid of all of them. Everybody here has cameras. Hey, so if you guys want to get rid of them and start buying the glasses that I have, I think those would. I think the military. I think the military even use them.
No doubt.
So if you guys want to get rid of those cameras, man, where those big bulky cameras when you're up doing all this, hey, why not get a pair of these and just move around.
Yeah, I've seen those with the built-in camera on the glasses. Those are expensive.
Hey, I've got 4 of those.
Really?
And you know how many cameras I threw away?
How many?
4. Because they are so good, dude. All right,
I like your selling pitch. He's trying to sell us one.
No. Hey, but, all right, guys. Now, hey, you guys know at the end of the show, I give away a prize. So have you guys done your homework on me?
To be honest, no.
No. Gotta be honest. No.
But we love you, Terry. We love
I give away, hey, if you guys, SPI knows, I give away a prize at the end of every show. So I hope you guys did your homework. Hey, I seen that.
I didn't even know we had homework.
Hey, it might be, you know what? And it's all about me. So if you guys figure out what I'm about, it could be from where I'm from to the high school I went to, how old I am, when was my first paranormal investigation, when was my first podcast. Hey, I always throw something big at the end of the podcast.
Terry?
Yes.
Terry, the dog ate my homework. I don't know what to do.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I used to use that excuse all the time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This day and age,
we have trouble remembering things about ourselves.
hey, the good thing about this day and age, the kids don't use paper. Everything's on a laptop. So you should have everything copied on the laptop. All you got to do is go back and pull it up. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, but anyway, guys, you know, you know what? I have not been doing this as long as SPI and JJ, but you know what? What would you tell people like me, Borderline, Paranormal Journal? What would you tell us to make sure that we are successful at what we do? Starting with JJ. Can y'all hear me? All right, hold on.
We can hear you, Terry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now I can.
What about you, SPI? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just something in the background that's kind of flooding it out a little bit.
The guitar.
All right. Okay. Hey guys, what would you guys, JJ and SPI, what would you guys tell, people like me, Paranormal Journal, Borderland, that that has not been in the field for as long as you guys have? What would you guys have to say that will make us more successful?
Don't be narrow-minded. I mean,
that's a good one.
Everything changes.
Okay.
And there is no concrete way to investigate or prove or disprove ghosts. Okay, everyone has comes from a different background. And some people are religious, some people aren't. And you've just got to keep that open mind and always wanting to be learning, always wanting to educate yourself and helping others. Don't do it for the fame and the glory, because really that's not what it's about.
I agree. Yes, ma'am.
So that is where I always start people that come in, and we've started people 8, 9, 10 years old because somebody has to teach them that this is not about fame and glory and shiny lights and 100% results. This is about helping other people. So as long as you are always service minded with an open mind, and wanting to educate and further that education, I think you'll be very successful.
Okay.
Keep that ego in check.
Hey,
I love that.
ego.
No big egos here, so.
Yeah, I love that because
Yes, thank you for that.
It's like
I don't know what it is with the egos, man. I mean, there's
I
a
don't
lot
get
of.
it.
All right, hey, SPR, what would you say on that?
I would say start with respect. The most important thing is the way you approach spirits. If you approach them with respect and much more communication and good responses. Just like any living person, if you walk up and, hey, what's with you? And you're in their face, you're not going to get a good response. And it's the same way with the deceased. In addition to that, I would say, kind of expanding on what JJ said with being open-minded, a lot of the people I've seen that in the field, they're kind of pigeonholed great. There are certain scientists, like Dr. Rule is a brilliant scientist, but he is very much a scientist. He from only a scientific perspective.
Right.
He ignores the religious side to it of it, and I think you have to be able to put all of those parts together. There is a religious element to it. There is a scientific element to it. There is all of these different components, and if you leave out any one of those, you're kind of doing it a disservice because you're not getting the whole picture.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in the state of Texas, we all know religion is big.
Yes.
How big is religion when it comes to the paranormal? How?
I have a kind of a fun answer with that, because when we first started this, we're kind of in the Bible Belt up here for sure, and a lot of people would say, "I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. You need to go to church." And I leaned on the fact that I had a preacher back in the day when we had that haunted house that said, "Well, why didn't you come see me sooner? Why did you live with it for 4 years? We could have helped you." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't think you'd believe me. Ghosts, He said, "Do you believe in God? You can't tell me you believe in God if you're telling me you don't believe in spirits." He said, so yes, that has a huge part to do with it. I don't know that you can pigeonhole it into one specific religion or belief, but it is definitely spiritual. That's what this kind of relies on. Where are we going? Where do we go? Why do ghosts hang around? Why do, so yes, it is a huge part, but you also have to know that people's religious beliefs sometimes will, put blinders on them as to why things happen in a paranormal sense. Because we're all chasing demons in some people's minds,
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I agree. Drew, what do you think about that?
I have to agree that religion does play a significant part to this, because without religion, where would we have gotten the definition of what a ghost is in the first place? But to JJ's point, that when you are dealing with the public, it can be very difficult to make people understand that not everything is a demon and not everything is even a spirit. It can be something as simple as you have old wiring in your house, or you have a rattly window in the upstairs that you hear occasionally that's causing you to freak out. And mental illness is on a whole nother page, but adds to the same factors as well. So that I feel like religion gives us the definition, but it shouldn't be the only source of information.
Right.
Okay. Good answer. SPR, what do you think?
What now?
You want to tackle that?
Oh, the same question. I just feel like TV, books and everything, and maybe even religion in part, everybody's like afraid of spirits, and that kind of makes me sad. You have to be cautious, you have to be respectful, but the spirits that we they want the stories heard and want someone to listen to them. So I feel bad that they get a bad rap, and it's not always religion that does that, but I mean, some religions, there's no ghosts. You don't talk to ghosts. They're all bad. And I don't believe that's really true at all. So,
I think Hollywood culture has a lot to do with that too.
Definitely books and movies.
Now, if you guys had a religion, which one would throw the book at you? If you told them that their house was haunted?
Baptist.
Oh my God.
No, I actually had a guy that was dating this guy, and he's like, he was Baptist, and he's like, you're ghost hunter, and he didn't let me anymore because I was a ghost hunter, and that was against his religion.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. You don't do paranormal investigation. That's just weird and then again, maybe it's just a different sect. I mean, you have to understand that when we're talking about religion, we're actually talking about denominations. Religion is Christian, it's when you talk about Catholic, Baptist, Methodist, those are denominations. Those are creations that we have formed from an original religion. But anyway,
we definitely have to separate religion when we're doing this kind of line of work, because we just can't automatically suspect that we're talking to a Catholic or to a Christian. We have to separate all that, and we definitely just got to go in with just a strict communication level with just trying to get answers. But yeah, religion has to be separated, in my opinion.
Yeah. Plus, and especially with dating.
Oh my God! Especially with dating.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I've always, the one religion that people threw the book at me was Catholics.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones
that we're the worst.
Do exorcisms and stuff.
Catholics. I've sat down and talked to many Catholics, many non-believers, and they pretty much said, "Hey, if you was to come to my house, first of all, the first thing they said, if my house was haunted, I would never come to you. I would never tell you."
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, why?" Because my religion teaches me that we don't believe in that stuff. And I'm like, well, the thing about Catholics is the Catholic Church back in the day, what is the one thing that they sent out to investigate something that they could not, somebody was to tell them something's going on?
Exorcisms.
No, it wasn't investigated. The Catholic Church will always send somebody out to investigate something, and that's no different than what we are today.
That's right. No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yet, some 600, 800 years later, they're going to say, well, hey, we don't believe in this. We don't preach this. Hey, man, ain't that kind of like a little bit, something's weird going on there? Because at first you did, now you didn't.
They still do.
What's going on?
It depends on the sect. Again, you're looking at different sects. So, and that's not XEX, that's SCCT. but no, there are different. The Roman Catholics are very adamant about their spirits and exorcisms and sending out investigators. But it's the ones that have branched off from there that tend to be really, I want to almost say, snooty about those investigators.
Yeah, as a Catholic, that's why I say you need to separate yourself and your beliefs within this, because as a Catholic, I've grown up in Catholic homes, and they pass it down to you, and they're very strict with it. And I've grown into the senses of, just let them be that, and I'll end that era there, and I'll put a wall there, and that's where I separate different beliefs. And I definitely given into people who are Christians, Baptists, different beliefs. I actually ingest it. I ingest their information. I take it in, and I actually I just basically, like I said, I ingest the information and I go based on that, separating my religion from theirs and understanding their point of view. And I don't tend to bash on their beliefs, but I put mine aside when it comes to that. So I definitely just I separate it 100%. So, but I believe JJ, because Roman Catholics are definitely harsh people. So, and I grew up in it. So,
and that's one.
I'd like to be able to weigh in on this one if I can, being the minister on the panel here. And I'm also raised Catholic. I'm Cajun Catholic from New Orleans. So I look at that a little bit different. I guess there's different experience. I believe very much in the Catholic religion. And I think it's okay to have a religion and let the religious belief affect how you see things. That being said, where I have an issue the Catholics, even though I am one, is that there's a big difference between the religion and the church. And people seem to have a very tough time separating those believe and believe all the things that are written and the prayers that you do. But the church often has its own separate ideas of what they believe or how they believe. Yeah. And I've seen variation in that just from church to church. We have a local Catholic church that I work with. The priest there has been very helpful to us. We had a demonic case back in April. And we had a young lady that was speaking and ancient Hebrew and things like this. And looking at it, having training for us and so forth, huge help to us. That being said, I won't say the name because I know the name. But there is someone who runs a diocese down here in the area. I won't get specific. And he is anti-helping this kind of thing. Anything in a blessing gets bucked up to him the way the system works. And either approve it to go further or deny it. He automatically denies every single one that has ever come to him, regardless of who it comes to, because he does it one to deal with ability and that reputation that the church.
It's
I look at this is God. I don't think God cared what specific belief we had. We were put here to help our fellow man, to help lead others to. I don't think God cares if you're paying this church or that church or what the case is there. Whether you're Catholic and whether you're part of this specific community or not would not determine whether or not you get help, but it often does. And initially, when we started doing what we were doing, we did not do all of the blessings and the exorcisms and the things that we do now. There was such a resistance down here to helping people that I kind of got, not with the religion, but again, with the church. I had a bit of an outs with them, and I said, well, if you won't help them, then I will. And that's kind of how that happened. So there are priests and there are churches that are very willing to help. And there are others that just will not help because of the reputation and responsibility that they don't want to deal with.
Right. Our priest is Anglican, and he's been very, very helpful that way. But you can't find somebody out of Dallas that wants to do anything. They don't want to touch it. So, yeah.
Wow, that's, you know what, that is, Woo, woo. That is very interesting.
You leave religion aside from a strict perspective. You know, you have to be respectful of your client and what they believe. You can't just, you know, jump all over them because they don't believe in this or that because they're Baptist, Methodist, whatever. But
you know what, guys? Hey, great response there, SPI. I really appreciate your input on that. You know, I really appreciate it. All right, guys. Hey, now, one thing about me is, you know, like you say, it's not about me. It's about, you know, who or whatever I'm dealing with. Have you guys ever came across somebody that you want to help that they're really difficult? They are really difficult to deal with, but you know but they want your help, but it's really hard for them to accept your help. Have you guys ever came across anybody like that?
all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
JJ.
Right. We've been around a while though, so.
I mean, I don't know what to say. They're like, man, I really need your help, but you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, if you reaching out to me, let me do what I need to do to help you, so we can, you know, make your life a lot easier. You know, but it seems like, you know, it's just, go ahead. It just seems like it's getting harder and harder.
And we won't touch on this too long, but if we've got like a haunting and say there's mental illness or addiction involved, and say there's the three of those tied to one case, then it really gets a little murky, because you've got to have the client themselves as well, help them help themselves before we can even begin to work the case, because the client is so paramount. I mean, they're part of the problem, but they're in the mix with the spirits. So everybody's got to kind of come together and want to work on it, spirits and the living.
Yeah, sometimes their biggest problem is not the paranormal, unfortunately.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. SPI, I don't know if you remember when you guys, when I first started this, and I was talking about the guy with what was he? He called me up and he said, man, I've got a situation. I got these mind control cockroaches. I think they're smoking up all my cigarettes and drinking all my beer. Do you remember that? Do you remember me telling you guys that? Well, and you know what? And I really, this guy still calls me. Oh, where'd they go? These guys he still calls me to this day and talks to me about what I did for him. So when you mentioned mental health, and that really right there came to mind on how mental health can actually, you know, play into somebody think they're being paranormal or something's going on in their house. You know, when the first thing when he told me, it's like, hey, I got mind control cockroaches drinking up my milk and smoking all my cigarettes. Hey, I mean, right there, I knew something was wrong. I knew, but you know what? I had to get over there just, you know, because you don't want to. There's always that what if, because we really don't know what's going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? It's always that what if. So when we went over there and we evaluated him and his situation, and we found out that it wasn't mind control, you know, cockroaches smoking up his cigarettes and drinking up all his milk. It was actually him sleepwalking and doing all that. Now, can you imagine sleepwalking and smoking cigarettes and drinking milk? You know, that's as crazy as that sounds, it really happened, guys. And you know what? And the guy still calls me every Sunday, clockwork. Whether I'm at work or not, he'll leave a message, and he always thanks me about helping him, getting help, you know, with his sleepwalking disorder and all that
That's
stuff.
awesome.
And yeah, so you'd be surprised on how that can actually play into paranormal. She's got jokes.
I'm loving the comments. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. I'm not laughing at you. The comments here are great.
Yeah, hey man. Yeah, she's funny. But anyway, guys, you know what? That's just one of the small things that I like about doing what I do, because I'm able to actually, you know, do that and help people out. And that's what I love about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if he went to anybody else, can you imagine where he would be right now?
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why we do this. I mean, it has to, it's a result for people, not just, you know, the Spiridon, the Holy Grail Spiridon picture or whatever, you know.
You know, so yeah, I mean, it is,
Absolutely.
I mean, she needs to stop.
Our brother Reds. Harsh, baby.
Yeah, boy. So Marlboro. Hey, you know what? I couldn't even tell you, man. But hey, but I can tell you the milk was 2%. Oh my God! You know that is so funny.
But it's when you get your chocolate cake, you gotta hate it. I mean, seriously, don't be getting in my chocolate cake.
Yeah, man. I mean, just think, man. Just think for a moment. If that guy was smoking while he was asleep, and he had carpet, can you imagine what that would be like? And that cigarette got on that carpet, and I don't think he would be here right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, that's part of this. If you've got someone who suffers from like schizophrenia, they're genuinely going to hear and see things, and they're not always paranormal. In some cases, it's both. But you've got a responsibility to your clients, because sometimes there's a problem there. We can't help them, but aim me off and direct the right way, because I mean that's very real to them, reality. So
Yes.
it's serious. So we're laughing, and I laugh, but I'm an unofficial mental health advocate, and that stuff is real to them.
Yeah, it's very real. And you know, and I did not, for him being my first case like that, and to be honest with you guys, I didn't even know how to react, because I thought, you know, once I got there, I thought somebody was going to bust out with some balloons and the big surprises on you. You know what I'm saying? But no, it came in serious. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, what am I to do? You know, with this, you know, the first thing that was going through my head was, all right, let's go ahead and call the doctor and see what we can do. But no, I'm like, well, no, let's take it down a notch and look at the whole the big picture of it, and see if I can actually help him out without, you know, somebody that want to dope him up with 40 pills, and that's really not doing anything for him. You know what I'm saying? So hey, just thank God that I was able to do what we were able to do, and like I said, and his life is much better. He was able to get the help that he needs. You know what I'm saying? And without somebody actually calling him a nut. All he did was sleepwalk.
Yep.
I mean,
but he wouldn't know that.
No big deal.
He wouldn't have known that, you know?
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't even know it.
So I'm saying, yeah, he wouldn't have known it without you.
Yeah. So I mean, kudos to me, man. I think I did a great job. But anyway,
Yeah, you did. It's all about helping them, regardless of what kind of help they need. If you can help get them there or see that, you've done good.
Right.
All right. Now you guys probably I don't understand the peanut butter. Well, you should have bought some crackers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dude. Yeah, he is so funny. You know, guys. What she said, that's a true story. It really happened. You know what I'm saying? But you know what, guys? It's been an hour and 30 minutes, man. And before I get you guys, I know you guys are tired, and I know you guys got things to do besides sit here and talk to me all night. And Jet is just chilling. He has nothing to say. He's just chilling over there. You know, hey guys, in April. Yes. You know what, ladies?
Out for the quiet ones.
Well, and it's always said between my mom and I that I am our back of house person. So, evidence needs reviewed, things like that. I've got you. And I don't mind hopping on a podcast. I'm just saying that's why I'm quiet, is I'm not normally the talkative one.
Yes. Guys, there's a lot of women, and I respect the hell of you guys for what you guys do. There's a lot of women paranormal teams out there that are just women, and I respect those guys as well. And that's why I decided to have it the same event, but bringing women out, showing them love, showing them respect, because you guys do a lot of things besides just investigate. You take care of your family. You make sure your kids get to school. There's a lot that you guys do throughout your day. So what I want to do is I want to have a Texas Four Corners paranormal podcast just for the women.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just women only.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think that would really cool. I think that would be really cool because I really think that there are more women paranormal investigators than there are men. And the reason why is I think you guys are a little bit more open-minded than men are. You know what I'm saying? Most men, I can tell you what, most men today will probably say, if they hear something that, bam, something in their house, they play, oh, it's just a cat. It's just a cat falling. But a woman, oh, she's going to get up and she's going to go investigate that. I can almost guarantee you. She's going to go like, hey, what is going on? And that's just the way you guys are. And I got so much respect for you guys from what you guys do. So the best way for me to honor you guys is to have you guys, hey, all you guys come on, have one big podcast and talk about, the women's aspect of paranormal investigating.
That would be amazing, actually.
I think that would be very interesting.
Because I want you to look at the first TV shows were all guys. So people were introduced into when ghost hunting became cool, it was all males.
All guys.
And it's like, but that's not really how it works around here. At least up here.
Lorraine she was a woman.
Yeah. Well,
she's the one that, that kicked us off.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, but Ed initially was the one who garnered a lot more respect. A lot of people looked at Lorraine like she's kind of but they gave respect to Ed. And I think over time that's changed, and people have come to see, how mediums work and have a better understanding of that. Of course, everybody's a little more open-minded to it now, but I think initially he was far more respected than she was, whereas now that playing field's a little more even.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think you guys are 60-40 easy. 80, yeah, I think you guys are 60-40 easy. I'm not, saying that, just to be saying it, but, I talk to more women paranormal investigators on my podcast than I actually talk to men. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, you guys are coming out. You guys are taking over. And I totally
we had the reins the whole time.
You know what I'm saying? But I just wish there would be more coming out. And it's like I always tell a medium. When a young female is a medium and she don't understand her gifts, and like I always tell her, you got to embrace what you are. You know what I'm saying? You have those powers for a reason. Okay, hold on. Yes. You have those abilities for a reason. So let's not run and hide up under a tree or behind a bush. Come on out. Do your thing.
It doesn't matter if you hide, they're eventually going to catch up with you.
Oh, yeah, eventually.
I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then something happens and here I am again. So, I mean, it's just something that we're meant to do. You can't help it.
Right. And, and guys, I mean, people like JJ, Chris, Amy, hey, man, you guys will land the foundation for this. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I talk to somebody, whether you guys know them or not, they know SPI. They know what you guys do. Now, you might not know who they are, but they know you. So you've laid the foundation just because of what you guys have done. And, and from the women aspect of it, they look at you guys up here. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, a lot of respect for, you guys, JJ, all you women out there that are doing their thing. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Despite what anybody say. Because you're going to have your critics no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see what she said. Hey, quit using these big words on me. Yeah. So let's get out of there. Hey, guys, like I said, I know you guys got things to do. I'm not going to hold you guys up anymore, much longer. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys coming on the podcast, showing, support. Not just for me, but for the whole paranormal world as a whole. And who is that? Who is that? I don't know who that is. I hear some background music, some talking. Y'all hear that?
I've been hearing it the whole time, though. So, I mean, some sort of squeaky, squawky noise.
Oh, yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, we've been hearing it. Almost like
an office. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Okay, guys, if you guys, yeah, see, even Mike, yeah, he hears it too. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, that's weird. Ghosts.
Oh man, we got some podcast ghosts.
They want it on the action, man.
Podcast ghosts. All right, guys. You know what? Chris and Amy, I really appreciate it. JJ, Jet, I really appreciate you guys. Hey, the other two guys had to go. I appreciate those guys coming on our show, just coming on and just talking about, their part of Texas and, and how they do the things down there. I really appreciate it. I don't know. What is that? I don't know what that is.
Can't even say it's feedback. It's not like feedback even. Hey, Jet, you got any ideas?
It might be that someone's mic is a little bit too sensitive and it's picking up noise that's like down the street.
I don't have a mic.
I do. I don't think it's mine though. No.
I don't know. Hey guys, if you guys Maybe it's an open mic. Somebody have it? Hello? I don't know who that is. Is that me? Hello?
Can you tell me your name? Who is that? Can you tell me your name?
Hey, maybe it's those giant balloons, man, that's been hovering over North Carolina and Montana. Maybe they're trying to contact us. Hey, Chris and Amy, have y'all guys dealt in aliens before?
What was that?
Lynette and Amy do what?
Have you guys dealt in aliens?
We've had a few calls from people asking about that. And I usually, kind of nicely suggest for them to call MUFON. We're just not set up for that. To me, I think it's great that people invade it. I totally believe in it. I just think that's a totally different type of investigation, requires totally different type of equipment, and a lot more, science-based type of investigation. So I'd prefer to leave that to people who are more experienced in dealing with that. We stick to pretty much spirits and some cryptids and demonics.
But you know what?
Humans,
but I don't know who that is or what that is. Maybe they're trying to communicate through my mic. I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. All right, guys. Quick questions, right quick. To the females in the group. Hey, guys. Hey, you guys should watch out for this Torres Paranormal Investigations. They're doing great things down there in South Texas, man. I'm telling you, they're up and coming. So you guys got to just watch out for them. Oh, Lord, here we go. She's not wrong. Very upset cow out there. I don't know what was happening to that cow, but he was not happy.
He was disgruntled.
What did y'all do?
We were hearing it the whole night. We were out there periodic in the night. You just hear a very upset, drawn out moo.
Oh,
a lot of dogs too.
I wouldn't doubt that out there. All right, guys. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to keep you guys up any longer, man. It has been a pleasure talking to you guys, SPI. Hey, I know you guys were very busy. I saw the video last night. I appreciate you guys coming on short notice. JJ, I'm going to buy that house. We're going to get together and we're going to buy that house for me.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, no money down.
We can work on that.
Hey, wait a minute. Gremlins. Mike says Gremlins. All right, with enough said, guys. All right, here's the question of the day. If you guys want to win the prize. Now, I think that you guys probably know this, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Amy, Chris, JJ, Jet, you guys ready? If you guys want to win the prize, you got to answer this question. When is my birthday?
April 17th.
How in the hell you guessed that quick?
Psychic.
All right. Hey, but you are correct. You are really correct. Now, the prize is, if you don't have any, I will be sending you 4 4K GoPros.
Oh, sweet.
No, 3. I will be sending you 3 4K GoPros with the harnesses and everything.
Sweet.
So, do you have any by chance?
No, we do not. Our last one, a ghost knocked it over and broke it.
Darn good. You should have charged them for it.
I'm telling you, it just went.
Oh well. Now you have 3. So if you will please send me your address, and I will ship this out first thing Monday.
Thank you. That's amazing.
No problem at all.
Happy to share if you need some down for Chris or Amy. I share.
He shares.
I'll share.
Oh yeah, like Chopper say, you take your break.
You know that didn't work for me. He ghosted me.
All right, hey guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm about to let you guys get out of here, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show. JJ, if you send me your address, I will ship that out to you Monday. Chris, Amy, you guys, please keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it, man. You know, I really appreciate everything that you guys do. Hey, and I'm dead serious about that TV show we were talking about earlier.
That would be awesome. I would have.
I really do.
That would be.
If anybody that can make that happen, it's you guys. I mean, it don't even have to be.
In the comments. She's the one who makes that happen.
She'll hook you up.
Hey, spread the word. If anybody can make it happen, it's you guys, man. Hey, I don't have the tech suave. I don't have none of all that stuff to make that happen. You know, but you guys can. Please, let's make this happen. We can meet in a central location and we can all investigate together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Oh man, my Bluetooth just. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. But anyway, hey guys, let's get out of here, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate everybody coming on. Jet, JJ, Chris, Amy, Borderline, you know, and I just appreciate it, man, to make this successful. And all the comments out there today, Mike, and so on and so on. Hey, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and, you know, just asking 1,000,001 questions. It wasn't really too many questions. It was more narrated towards the cockroaches, but but I appreciate it, man. I really do. You know, but at the end of the show, is there anything you guys would like to ask me before we get out of here? JJ?
Do you remember my name?
Yes, SPI. You're a part of the team.
Well, one's Chris, one's Amy, right?
Yeah, or Amy and Chris.
No.
What?
I'm Amy. She is Lynette.
Chris's husband.
Chris is my husband, who is also on it. He's not with us.
I thought it meant Chris plus Amy.
Well, you know what? Wait, hold up. You know, technically, Chris is you and you is Chris since y'all married, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See?
So I'm ending.
You are. She's 2 people.
You got to be in this world. Hey, you got to be able to have, you know, multitask. You know, in order to multitask, you got to be more than one person. And that's what you guys do. 2 awesome. Hey, let me throw this up before you guys go. Lynette, I know your name.
That's right.
We know now.
Thank you. Love you, Terry.
All right. Hey, you guys have a good night, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. Hey, tell everybody I said hello. You know, JJ, I will see you again.
I'm sure you will.
Jet, hopefully I'll get a chance to meet you on a personal level, and we can talk and drink a beer or whatever and have a good time. Hey, guys. One more question. We're going out to Yellow People Cemetery next week. Have you guys been out there? Chris, Amy? Lynette, have you guys been up the Yellow Fever Cemetery? It's
the
in
official
Brenham.
name, or is that?
No, it's in Brenham, Texas.
Interesting.
You guys there?
Interesting. Never heard of that.
I mean, every place has its own yellow fever cemetery, but I've never had one that was actually named that.
Yeah, it's got like four mass graves on there on that in that cemetery.
Wow. Yeah.
We could look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah, it's where back in the 1860s, right quick, there was a yellow fever outbreak in
Yes.
East Texas, and that's where they took and they just dug one big hole and put everybody who passed away from it into 4 different mass graves.
Wow.
And they just added cemetery, other burials around it. So we'll be headed out there next Friday night.
Wow.
But we would definitely, if you guys never been, I'm actually going to a place you guys never been before. Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we don't live that far from there.
We're not far.
We're not far. at all.
Hey, well, maybe we can get together and do something.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys come out, hang out with us, do some, I know you guys don't do cemeteries often, but it would be awesome to have you guys out there.
That would be cool.
Message me. We'll see what we can work out there.
Okay, cool. I will contact you in the middle of the week and see if we can do something. All right. Hey, you guys have a good night, man.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. JJ, thank you. Chris, Amy, Lynette, all 3 of you guys. You guys have a good night. Jet, have a good night, brother.
You too. Thank you for letting us on.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal. Hey, 2023 Texas Four Corners Paranormal Podcast. Hey, you guys. Hey, man. You guys have a good night. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. I got one comment. I don't know who that was. All right, guys. That was the Texas 2023 Texas Four Corners Paranormal Podcast. What do you guys think? I think it was very successful. I had a couple of teams that had to break off. Paranormal Alliance had to go to work. And Borderline, I don't know what happened to those guys. Something happened to the link where they weren't able to get back on. But anyway, hey, you got any comments, leave your comments on the link below. They dropped a line for me, and all that stuff. Let's see. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it. Hey, Torres, appreciate it, man. I appreciate everybody coming on, showing their support and everything. Hey, let's do this again. I'd like to see you guys at the Paranormal Picnic, which is coming up March 11th in San Antonio. And after that, we're going to have the Texas Women's Four Corners Podcast. I just need to think of a day that we can do that. I'm not for sure what day. I'm thinking maybe in April. I'm not sure. But as time's getting near, we will figure it out, and we'll go from there. But in the meantime, hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast signing off.